and your start there and everything. I mean, obviously some fond memories and
good memories, no question. And it'll be good to see him kind of pregame to say a quick hello. But those were good years in the past, and now on to the next task because we had a lot of things to play for. And big focus this week is find a way to win.
What about their defense? Obviously, pretty impressive.
Yeah,
performance Saturday night.
They did a great job against Arizona State. I thought those guys played really hard, disrupted things in the run game, and they've been doing the same stuff for a long time and doing it really well. So they caused some problems that way. I think they're in your face in the secondary, and so they're going to challenge you there. And so we got to be good and physical, got to be accurate and on time with the ball, and so it'll be a good task.
Is it useful at all going back to the bowl game for you guys, having just kind of game plan against them?
A little bit. They're doing a little bit different stuff, and like their front, they're playing a little more 3 down last year than they're doing now. So we glanced at that, but we're a little bit different offensively than when we were in the bowl game.
Trying to figure out the shotgun snaps. How's that been going this week?
We've made an emphasis on it and did some things pre-practice. Did some things in the center, moving the D lineman a little bit more. It's been an emphasis. I think that it's gotten improved, but we got to do it on Saturday.
Do you ever think about them using less shotgun because of that, or like that just needs to get better?
I think it's got to get better. I mean, we've gone this far in the shotgun, and then all of a sudden to make a wholesale change would be tough on us right now.
The snaps are obviously a huge part of it with Cyler, but even going back early in the season, it was him protecting the ball was an emphasis even then. I mean, has that gotten a little bit better, or is that something?
I think there's gotten better in a little bit in how he's protected the ball. I mean, we called a lot of runs for him last week, and he protected it pretty good. The ball slips out of his hand on the one when he's going to throw it. The next one, it's a poor snap. He's got to find a way to diminish a negative play. We've talked about that, which is easier said than done, but we obviously would have liked to hold on to that.
If you have a different center there, does it mean it's a different snap?
Different snaps are different guys for sure. I think Panda's been solid on that. He's been working at it. It wasn't like an issue throughout the year. It's just come up the last couple of games. So. And in some of it, there's going to be an occasional bad snap he's got to be able to handle. We just had too many of them.
How much have you emphasized this week late game situations, being able to take the play clock all the way down to about 2 seconds, 1 second, and getting the snaps off and wasting more time when you have a lead, obviously?
We didn't. We looked at it on Sunday, talked a little bit about it on Monday, and then we've kind of gone back to our normal approach.
What was your vantage point from the booth on that particular sequence? What did you see, since didn't get a chance to talk to you?
Vantage point,
just
seeing the...
Yeah, from like the 90-second mark on. I mean, in terms of I know you were looking at the charts and things like that, but what was the thought process up there?
Yeah, we've got some people up there that are looking at the charts, and it was going to be really, really tight on whether we can, going to have to punt on 4th down, and so we're going to try to eat a little clock on 1st down. That was my vantage point. That was our approach. Felt really good about the call. Didn't turn out the way we liked it.
And in terms of the game plan and the way it was executed, it almost felt from the outside that it was maybe your best game plan of the year. Is that just a function of just you get more and more comfortable with what these guys do well, and just the fact that they're getting comfortable with you as well?
I maybe because there weren't a whole lot of new plays that we schemed up. I did think we got a little bit of rhythm and some 1st downs. I think what the biggest piece of that was our ability to run the ball and then complete some underneath stuff and get some yards on the underneath stuff. It wasn't a bunch of 2 or 3 yard completions. It was more the 8 and 9 yard completions. Makes a huge difference in what we're trying to get done.
And Cyler, getting those 3rd downs late and extending that 4-minute drive. Yeah. How big is that for his confidence going forward?
I think it was huge. Again, that's why the way the thing ends is such a bummer, because I did feel he played really well finishing the games. We caught a lot of runs for the guy. I mean, even on that 3rd down before we put the ball on the ground, it's 3rd and 3. We're running option. He puts his shoulders down and gets it right past the marker. I mean, it's an awesome rep. He's built some confidence that way.
The things that you saw from Washington, Dwayne Washington, from that game were what? I mean, that really just sort of...
I thought he made some guys miss and broke some tackles. He ran really hard, and then I thought, he's got a second gear that if he can get out in space, he can go. Not only just from last week, we were watching last year's game, he's got a couple long runs in that game. So he's got a second gear that was nice to see.
So then, how come that game and not maybe some games earlier?
Well, I think it's probably a combination of, how well things were being blocked. Some things got open against Arizona. I think we were running some outside zone. There was a good scheme against those guys that hadn't presented itself in weeks earlier.
And how big have the seniors been? Whether it's been the offensive linemen or guys like Kaysen, how big have they been for your transition to try to get these guys going?
They've been big. I think those guys have been awesome of buying in and their approach and working hard and working out some kinks of a new system and all of that. I think we've really gained from their experience. I think they've come along and helped out the young guys as well.
Kaysen said that he'd been feeling pretty good with his leg for a while, and that he felt like that wasn't really showing up on film in practice until maybe a couple weeks after the Stanford game, I think was his timeline. Did you see that? I mean, have you seen him starting to look better in practice?
I think he has seemed to look better. I don't know the exact timetable. I can't even think of a ball he caught yesterday that made. I was like, okay, that stood out to me. And so, yeah, he's coming along. He did some good things in that last game. Hopefully he can get a couple touches on Saturday.
Is the design of the offense, I think on Saturday you guys had about 11, 12 guys touch the ball. Is that ideal for this offense to get a lot of good playmakers out there and everybody involved?
I think it's nice to have guys involved. I think there's some benefit just in as you go. These guys getting a couple of touches early to get in the rhythm of the game. I think that's a real benefit.
And aside from the fumbles, how did Cyler grade out?
I thought he graded out well, like with his effort. I still thought there were, in the passing game, there's still a couple of plays that I think he could have pulled the trigger, but outside of that and the fumbles, I thought he played pretty well.